on July the 4th, 1776. The Continental Congress declared that the 13 American colonies were no longer subject to the monarch of Britain, King George III, and were now united, free and independent states. Hey fact friends, how is everybody doing this 4th of July period, I guess, because it's not technically the 4th of July yet as of the recording and release of this video. But happy 4th of July anyway to anyone from America who's watching. You're very welcome, and I hope you guys are all doing well. So, today, for this video, we have some layered sounds for the very first time on the channel. I have this miniature US flag, and I will be gently brushing it with one of my unused paintbrushes. So I hope you guys enjoy the gentle sounds that accompany our facts today. And with all that being said, it's time to lay back, relax, and let yourself drift away as I whisper facts about Independence Day. And that rhymed, and I didn't intend it to, but let's go with it. During the American Revolution, the legal separation of the 13 colonies from Great Britain in 1776 actually occurred on July 2nd, when the Second Continental Congress voted to approve a resolution of independence that had been proposed in June by Richard Henry Lee of Virginia, declaring the United States independent from Great Britain's rule. After voting for independence, Congress turned its attention to the Declaration of Independence, a statement explaining this decision, which had been prepared by a committee of 5, with Thomas Jefferson as its principal author. Congress debated and revised the wording of the Declaration to remove its vigorous denunciation of the slave trade, finally approving it 2 days later on July the 4th. And below, we also have a handwritten letter by John Adams, who was the second president of the United States, who played a large part as one of the leaders in the American Revolution. Here we have a letter that he wrote to his wife, Abigail, and it reads, "The second day of July, 1776, will be the most memorable epoch in the history of America. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be commemorated as the day of deliverance by solemn acts of devotion to God Almighty. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shows, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward, forevermore. session of Congress. Historians have long disputed whether members of Congress signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, even though Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Benjamin Franklin all later wrote that they had signed it on that day. Most historians have concluded that the Declaration was signed nearly a month after its adoption on August the 2nd, 1776, and not on July 4th, as is commonly believed. I love the letter John Adams wrote to his wife, and even though he was off by 2 days, a lot of what he said came to be true and to this day are used as means to celebrate Independence Day with fireworks, social gatherings, etc. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic letter that he wrote, and I love reading that for the first time. Independence Day is a national holiday marked by patriotic displays. Similar to other summer-themed events, Independence Day celebrations often take place outdoors. Many politicians make it a point on this day to appear at a public event to praise the nation's heritage, laws, history, society, and people. Independence Day is a federal holiday, so all non-essential federal institutions, such as the Postal Service and federal courts, are closed on that day, while the legal holiday remains on July 4th, if that date happens to be on a Saturday or a Sunday. Then federal government employees will instead take the day off on the adjacent Friday or Monday, respectively. Families often celebrate Independence Day by hosting or attending a picnic or barbecue. Many take advantage of the day off, and in some years, a long weekend, to gather with relatives or friends. Decorations, for example, streamers, balloons, and clothing, are generally colored red, white, and blue, the colors of the American flag. Parades are often held in the morning before family get-togethers, while fireworks displays occur in the evening after dark at such places as parks, fairgrounds, or town squares. And where I come from, we actually have a holiday celebrated in July as well, on the 12th of July, known locally as the 12th, and it celebrates the Battle of the Boyne, and we have parades and bonfires, very similar methods of celebrating the event to Independence Day. And perhaps one day I'll do a video on the 12th of July in Northern Ireland if anyone's interested in the history of that event. I think it would be pretty interesting to cover on the channel. The night before the 4th of July was once the focal point of celebrations, marked by raucous gatherings, often incorporating bonfires as their centerpiece. In New England, towns competed to build towering pyramids, assembled from barrels and casks. They were lit at nightfall to usher in the celebration. The highest were in Salem, Massachusetts, with pyramids composed of as many as 40 tiers of barrels. These made the tallest bonfires ever recorded. The custom flourished in the 19th and 20th centuries and is still practiced in some New England towns today. Independence Day fireworks are often accompanied by patriotic songs such as the Star-Spangled Banner, the American National Anthem, Columbia, the Gem of the Ocean, God Bless America, America the Beautiful, My Country, 'Tis of Thee, This Land is Your Land, Stars and Stripes Forever, Yankee Doodle, Dixie in southern states, Lift Every Voice and Sing, and occasionally, but has nominally fallen out of favour, Hail Columbia. Some of the lyrics recall images of the Revolutionary War or the War of 1812. And I have to admit, I haven't heard of a lot of those songs. The Star-Spangled Banner is the most well-known from that list, at least to me, a non-American. Everyone at least knows the American National Anthem by name, I think. Firework shows are held in many states, and many fireworks are sold for personal use or as an alternative to a public show. Safety concerns have led some states to ban fireworks or limit the sizes and types allowed. In addition, local and regional weather conditions may dictate whether the sale or use of fireworks in an area will be allowed. Some local or regional fireworks sales are limited or prohibited because of dry weather or other specific concerns. On these occasions, the public may be prohibited from purchasing or discharging fireworks, but professional displays, such as those at sports events, may still take place if certain safety precautions have been taken. Additionally, a salute of one gun for each state in the United States, called a salute to the Union, is fired on Independence Day at noon by any capable military base. New York City has the largest fireworks display in the country, sponsored by Macy's, with more than 22 tons of pyrotechnics exploded in 2009. It generally holds displays in the East River. Other major displays are in Seattle on Lake Union, in San Diego over Mission Bay, in Boston on the Charles River, in Philadelphia over the Philadelphia Museum of Art, in San Francisco over the San Francisco Bay, and on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. New York has cropped up a few times in fact videos as being the place that has the biggest of something, whether it's a parade or a fireworks display in this case. And I think for good reason. It's a very prominent city within America, obviously, and I do believe it's the interesting as well. Alright, so that is a sort of a brief history of Independence Day. And now we have some quick fire facts surrounding the event. And following that, we will have a 5-question multiple choice quiz. The first Independence Day celebration took place in Philadelphia on July the 8th, 1776. This was also the day that the Declaration of Independence was first read in public, after people were summoned by the ringing of the Liberty Bell. The first week of July is typically one of the busiest United States travel periods of the year, as many people use what is often a 3-day holiday weekend for extended vacation trips. Benjamin Franklin proposed the turkey as the national bird, but was overruled by John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, who recommended the bald eagle. Yeah, I think the bald eagle is just, it's a much cooler bird, you would have to say, than the turkey. In 1776, there were 2.5 million people living in the new nation. Today, the population of the USA is over 330 million people. Wow, that is a staggering difference. The US imported $227.3 million worth of fireworks from China in 2012. US exports of fireworks, by comparison, came to just 11.7 million, with Israel purchasing more than any other country with $2.5 million. Barbecues are big on Independence Day. Approximately 150 million hot dogs and 700 million pounds of chicken are consumed on this day. Oh, I love a barbecue in summer. You can't beat the smell of a barbecue on a nice summer evening, sitting out in the warmth with a cold drink as well. And I'm recording this video kind of the later part of springtime, so as of this point I have all of that to look forward to. Every 4th of July, the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia is tapped, not actually rung, 13 times in honor of the original 13 colonies. Great Britain didn't get a copy of the Declaration of Independence until November 1776, and the Revolutionary War fighting didn't actually end until September the 3rd, 1783, when the Treaty of Paris was signed. 4th of July sales began after the Civil War, when merchants and restaurants began opening on that day to sell items that were red, white, and blue. The Pennsylvania Evening Post was the first newspaper to publish the Declaration of Independence? And finally, since the 1930s, Bend, Oregon has celebrated the 4th of July with an annual pet parade, which includes everything from horses, dogs, and goats to badgers, chickens, and baby coyotes. Some kids wear costumes and bring stuffed animals in lieu of a real animal. And I think that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sure there are a lot of different individual ways of celebrating the event based on different states. Alright, so question 1 in our 5-question multiple choice quiz is as follows. And we will start with quite an easy one, hopefully, if you know the very basics of the history of the event. In what year was the Declaration of Independence? Was it 1775, 1776, or 1777? And it's only through making this video that I learned this piece of information. And the right answer there is, of course, 1776. So, well done if you're off to a good start. Question 2. Fireworks are a huge part of celebrating Independence Day. The US imported $227.3 million worth of fireworks from what country in 2012? Was it China, Israel, or India? And the correct answer there is China. So well done if you said China. Moving on to question 3. What was the population of the US in 1776? Was it 2 million, 2.5 million, or 3 million? And compared to today's figures, it was minute at just 2.5 million people, although that is still just under 1 million more than the tiny place that I come from. So there you go, there's an added bonus fact for you today. Question 4, and this one isn't going to be multiple choice, as I feel it's quite an easy one. So let's see if you can get it without any options. Benjamin Franklin proposed the turkey as the national bird, but was overruled by John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, who recommended what bird? So essentially, what is the national bird of the United States? And the answer there is the bald eagle. But if you said eagle, that's okay too. We're not too strict here. And finally, question 5. Great Britain didn't get a copy of the Declaration of Independence until what month of 17 1986? Was it September, October, or November? And the correct answer to finish off this quiz is November. So well done if you said November. So guys, that concludes the quiz, and we're almost out of time for this video, but I really enjoyed learning more about Independence Day, and I hope you guys did as well. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so, and if you do subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell to get notified when all of my videos go live on the channel. Also, if you are interested in historical events, or there are any particular topics that you are interested in, be sure to check out my playlists and see if there's anything there of interest. I'll drop a link to a few related playlists in the description box. But a huge thank you again for joining me, and have an amazing Independence Day, whatever you get up to and wherever you're watching from.